Stop fixating only on Nvidia. Every headline screams its name, but three other events will move your portfolio just as much. Everyone knows Nvidia's earnings and Jensen Huang's speech, but most miss that Nvidia has deployed $90 billion in investments this year. No other company moves that much capital, rippling through suppliers and AI stocks long after earnings. Don't miss the first 2028 U.S. primaries kicking off in Pennsylvania, the nation's most critical swing state. A poor Democratic showing will rattle market confidence and trigger policy shifts that hit healthcare and energy stocks. Unexpected results almost always bring volatility. The BBC just hired Google's former Europe chief as CEO, and his first move is cutting 1 in 10 jobs. This isn't just media restructuring, it's a warning for big tech and legacy media. If a publicly funded BBC cuts this deep, hundreds of private firms will follow, hurting ad spending and growth. Finally, we get retail earnings from 4 major names: Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and M&S. These aren't just random reports, they will tell us definitively if the U.S. consumer is finally cracking. For a year, economists have predicted spending will slow. This week, we get hard data. If same-store sales drop more than expected, and inventories jump, that confirms a recession is closer than most analysts admit. That will hit every sector from luxury goods to logistics overnight. Let's break down 2 big stories shaking markets and politics this week. First, everyone's watching Nvidia's make-or-break week. CEO Jensen Huang just spoke at a major AI conference, but the real main event is 3 days away, Wednesday's quarterly earnings. Why does this matter to every investor? Nvidia is the global bellwether for AI spending. Their chip sales track exactly how much companies are pouring into AI projects. If they beat expectations, the year-long AI rally will climb. If they miss, the entire tech sector could crash in hours. With $90 billion in AI infrastructure deployed in under a year, Nvidia isn't riding the AI wave, they're building it. The number everyone watches isn't last quarter's revenue, it's next quarter's guidance. Now the story reshaping 2028 that almost no one is watching. Early U.S. presidential primaries kicked off this week. Early votes are happening in key states, including critical swing state Pennsylvania. These early votes won't make headlines now, but they'll show us party direction, voter energy, and who the real 2028 frontrunners are. We'll be watching both closely all week. Let's open with a startling number. 60% of Americans are dissatisfied with the Democratic Party, 3 full years before the next presidential election. This isn't just a random polling blip. Most analysts call it temporary frustration, but they miss a key truth. Primary turnout almost always predicts general election results. Track 3 simple metrics this cycle: raw turnout in swing states, down-ballot primary winners, and top candidates' victory margins. These local races tell you far more than any national poll. Now, a story most U.S. investors will ignore, which is exactly why it matters. The BBC just appointed Matt Brittin, Google's former top European boss, as its new director general. He's no traditional media insider. The BBC needs to cut 10% of its total workforce, thousands of jobs. Brittin's move from Google signals a quiet shift. Tech leaders are taking over traditional Western media institutions. If the BBC is cutting this deeply, private media is almost certainly doing the same, just without public announcements. Watch 4 key indicators over 6 months to see if a full European media restructuring wave is coming. Right now, every market eye is locked on this week's major retail earnings reports. All of them circle back to one critical question: how is the actual consumer doing? We have 4 big names reporting: U.S. giants, Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, plus UK-based M&S across the Atlantic. Each holds a unique piece of the consumer puzzle. This matters because consumer spending drives 70% of the entire U.S. economy. If reports beat forecasts, consumers are still spending. If they miss, recession fears spike back up. Most casual investors miss this truth. Retail earnings tell you more about the real economy than official GDP reports. GDP is backward-looking, only telling you what already happened. Retail earnings are forward-looking, giving clear clues for what's coming next for growth. This makes them far more valuable for market forecasting. Don't get trapped only watching the AI and Nvidia hype. Retail earnings pull back the curtain on consumer health, the market's most important driver. Pay attention. Let me cut through the noise and share two underrated market secrets most analysts won't ever tell you. First, the guidance over results reality. What companies say about their future matters far more than what they report about the past. When Nvidia reports quarterly results, everyone obsesses over last quarter's revenue. But that number is already history. It can't change what comes next. Forward-looking statements move markets. Past numbers are already baked into current prices. Second, the primary prediction signal. Learn to read leading indicators, not lagging ones. Lagging indicators just tell you what already happened. Leading indicators tell you exactly what's coming next. For AI investors, watch Nvidia's guidance, not revenue. Raised guidance means hold. Lower guidance means take profits. For retail traders, watch major retailer guidance. Lower guidance means reduce portfolio risk. For political observers, watch Pennsylvania primary turnout to gauge voter enthusiasm.